everyone, and welcome to Toop TV. Well, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and we have a present for you, the most gorgeous and romantic property in Hyde Park. It's coming up in the show later. It's one of SA's finest properties. We also have some simple tips and tricks to increase the value of your outdoor entertaining area. And of course, we're live and interactive, so send in your real estate questions and we'll answer them at the end of the show. Well, our hearts go out to all of those involved in the WA bushfires this week. We hope that you are safe and can recover as quickly as possible. On today's program, we are talking to the CEO of Bernie Lewis about whether it's better to invest in property or shares, the long ongoing argument. But for now, the inside story on future Adelaide developments.
There's no doubt Adelaide will be going through some exciting changes over the coming years to accommodate for a predicted population boom. The Adelaide City Council expects the city's permanent residential population to increase by 1,300 people per year and the number of students to expand by over 700 per annum. This means the only way is up for our growing city. Last year, the state government approved several $10 million plus city developments, which are over the height limit for their location. This has some home buyers concerned high-density living will change the lifestyle many locals have become accustomed to.
It's better to have bigger blocks and grass and stuff for the kids to run around on.
So if you've got a big backyard, you can have family and friends over and entertain.
While others have accepted this is where the housing industry is heading.
I don't think we're going to see bigger blocks in the future. With the demand increasing and the what's available, I think we have seen a decrease in the size of blocks over the last few years anyway.
The city will also continue to change to coincide with the council's development plan, which along with creating housing has also promised to provide 50,000 new jobs.
Well, there's certainly some changes happening around Adelaide and we'll be keeping an eye on those upcoming developments. I have with me Jackie Williams, editor of SA Life, SA Gardens, SA Homes and SA Life Food and Wine. Jackie, welcome to our show today.
Thank you, Kerry.
I'd love to hear about what led you. We must have an amazing background to have got to this point because it's such an iconic magazine. So can you share with us where you've been in the past?
Right.
What's happened?
Well, I've been working in publishing for about 10 years and about 8 years ago I was approached to be involved in a start-up, glossy, upmarket magazine just about South Australia. And then about 3 years into it, I was promoted to editor. And my role with the magazine is to source the content, obviously. So that means finding homes to feature each month, gardens, people and places, working through which social events we're going to cover, because that's always a very popular part of the magazine.
Exciting.
And then working with our contributing editors to find the right mix of content for the magazine.
So what's actually involved in being an editor?
Well, it's, as I said, getting the right mix for the magazine really, and making sure that we've got a good blend of different writers, so you get different styles of writing, and a mix of stories.
And no doubt you're very good at keeping to deadlines.
Yes.
Is the magazine actually printed in Australia?
Yes,
South
it's all
Australia?
produced in South Australia and printed here also.
Great. And what was the concept behind SA Life originally, Jackie?
Well, SA Life's a lifestyle magazine, so we have homes and gardens, as I mentioned, food and wine's a big part of it, and people and places. And it's aimed at a certain lifestyle and the people who are living that lifestyle and those that aspire to it. We've been able to broaden the reach of the magazine through annuals that we've produced. SA Homes is on sale at the moment, and we had the SA Life Food and Wine annual released in September last year. Next week, SA Gardens Volume 2 goes to press. So there's a real mix there of a monthly lifestyle publication and then more targeted annuals that come out on a regular basis.
And how have those targeted annuals gone production
Brilliantly.
sales-wise? Great.
Yes, really, really well. People know the brand now, and so they're eagerly awaiting the next issue. So all of those people who kept ringing me to say, when is the next SA Gardens coming out? It'll be next month. And then of course we're in partnership with Channel 7 with SA Life TV.
Oh, it's fabulous. So where would you rate the importance of SA Life to South Australia and South Australians?
Well, I think it's really important because we've, as I said, built a brand that's quite parochial. South Australians can be proud of what we do here and show off to the rest of the world. We have subscribers here, there and everywhere. And it's a publication that reaches out to South Australians wherever they are in the state, and from an advertiser's perspective it goes right into their niche market.
And a great way for them to show people where they lived if they're not living here anymore.
Yes.
So how important are properties in the production of SA Life, Jackie?
Well, every issue we have a feature home and also gardening advice, whether it's a feature garden or Michael Keelan's tips of what to do in the garden that month. So we like to have a nice blend of traditional contemporary homes and some of the modern places as well.
Right, oh, sounds good. And tell me, with the sorts of properties that you have in SA Life, is there a criteria? What leads you to put a property in?
Really, there's no particular criteria. They just have to have a point of difference and be interesting to our readership. So we've had renovated Freemasons lodges. We've had landmark properties such as Urilla, which has been renovated and the second storey put back on. That of course all came down in the Ash Wednesday bushfires. So there's those iconic hills properties, fantastic modern buildings down along the Esplanades, some great regional properties on the River Murray, down the southeast, all over the place.
And if I'm an existing homeowner not looking to move, what does the magazine offer for me?
Well, I think there's always inspiration in the magazines, whether it's SA Life, SA Homes, and obviously garden advice in SA Gardens. And you can see how people have approached the renovation process themselves and decorating ideas, obviously. And it doesn't really matter what style of home you have. And it's also a very Adelaide thing to have a classic villa at the front and a very contemporary extension out the back. So there's plenty of ideas there.
So is there a lot of range featured in the magazine of properties? You're talking about villa?
Yes, well that's, as editor, that's what I try to do, to make sure that there is a mix from month to month so that we don't sort of get into a run of similar properties. So I'm always on the lookout for interesting places to feature.
And tell me about the challenges, and our viewers about the challenges of actually photographing these properties and getting around them in gardens. And so is it only particular times of the day you can work? Do you do night time as well?
Yes, nighttime shots do work well. We've got a great team of core photographers and they know exactly when to go. Gardens always pose a little bit of a problem because you've got to get them at their best.
Of course, yes. Well, that's just excellent information. Very interesting. So what we're going to do now is to go and have a look at behind the blinds.